Hey there, welcome back to Rhino Plumbing's YouTube channel. I'm Trevor, and today we're here again with Ryan from Rhino Plumbing. And today, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I think basic homeowner maintenance of hot water tanks and furnaces, and maybe touch base a little bit on on-demand hot water as well.
Sure, yeah, let's go for it. So where do we start off?
Well, as anyone would say, start off with cleanliness. If you vacuum around your hot water tank, vacuum around your furnace, give it a wipe down once a year even, that can make a world of difference. I've talked to guys at the supply house that are in their 80s, still, semi-retired, working part-time, and I've asked them, what would you do? What have you seen? How long have these tanks lasted? And they all agree that keeping them clean, keeping the dust away, wiping them down, and sometimes having a look at something can prevent a catastrophe.
Right.
There's a slow drip on my hot water tank, so maybe I can call in the plumber or whatever. You can also, since we're on hot water tanks, you can drain your hot water tank and use the dip tube inside the hot water tank to spray the bottom. This doesn't work if your hot water tank is, 8 years old and you've never done this. Don't bother, because it's going to be rock hard in the bottom already with your mineral deposits. So there's no point. But if you just got your tank, 6 months to a year later, you can drain your tank completely, shut the water off, and then once the tank is drained, you just open the valve on the top for the cold water and shoot off and on bursts of cold water into the bottom of the tank, which will raise the mineral deposits and let it drain out, and that cleans your tank if you want to do that.
I had no idea that you could do that.
It may extend your tank a couple years, maybe longer. I don't know. Most 99.5% of clients don't do this. I don't have a stats on it.
First time I've ever heard of doing that. Most of the time it's like, okay, you probably have to replace your dip tube because it's corroded and it's, what have you. I've heard of that before, but I've never heard of cleaning the bottom of your tank, using that
right.
dip tube. So anyways, interesting.
Yeah. And the dip tube thing. So if you did need to replace your dip tube, you would notice right away, because your hot water tank is running, but you only have 5 minutes worth of hot water. So then it's like, okay, my dip tube's only using the top half of my tank. So then I want to replace it, and then I can get the full use out of my giant cauldron of hot water that I'm wasting money
heating and reheating. So what other tips do you have for people with hot water? So we have, of course, the hot water tank where it heats up the whole thing. What's another maintenance thing for homeowners that they can do?
Well, with hot water tanks and anything, you can exercise valves. So you would go to the top of the hot water tank and open and close your valve a couple times. And then same thing with under your sinks or anywhere else. Any valve in your house, if you can exercise it every 6 months, even once a year, it will work much better. Your main shutoff to your house, if it's really old, don't bother touching it. But newer shutoffs, just exercise it once a year, a couple on-offs, just 1 or 2 times. That makes a world of difference. The top of your hot water tank, don't cluster a bunch of stuff on the top. You shouldn't stack anything on or around your tank. It is flammable items can light on fire, things like this. Sure. Then you can plug off your exhaust and create bigger problems. Maybe you have a power direct vent tank. So that would mean that you have a fan on top that pumps the exhaust outside of the house. So if you have that, you would want to look at your exterior venting. Make sure there's no ice I've seen garbage bags and stuff stacked around them, and that plugs off.
That's not good.
No, it's not. So any restriction of airflow will prevent the pressure switch from noticing that the fan's on, and that will shut down your tank and cause you grief, and then you'll want to get a plumber in. So double check that those are good. Make sure that your sloping pipe, if you can see in the ceiling, your pipe sloping back to the hot water tank. If it's got a dip in it, that can create a dip and condensation will set up there, and that'll also restrict flow, shutting you down. What else can we maintain these things?
Well, this sounds like it's going past the scope of like a homeowner, like what they would want to get involved in.
Yeah.
It's probably more along the lines of something you would probably want to call a plumber when it comes to like your water line,
or your vent line. Yeah. Definitely cleanliness. 100%. All the old boys at the supply house would agree. Clean around these things, clean underneath them. There's an air intake on the bottom of hot water tanks, no matter what type of tank. And if it's clean and runs a nice burn and flame, then your tank will last much longer and more efficiently.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what's the next thing that you wanted to talk about?
Furnace maintenance. Simple, basic furnace maintenance for homeowner. Number one thing is air filters. Check your air filter. If your furnace is down and out, before you even call the HVAC guy or call us for repairs, pull your filter, check it out. It may not even look that dirty, but if it's been more than 3 months, there's a good chance that it is plugging off your furnace to the point where it won't work. So every 3 months, change your filters. You can buy them cheap at Costco, less than $10 a filter. We recommend a MERV 8 filter. MERV is the rating of how dense the filter is, how much airflow can go through it. So if you get a MERV higher than a MERV 8, it's going to restrict the airflow more. So we don't recommend that without special fans and things. Otherwise, your furnace is going to work way harder and won't last as long. So yeah, air filter is number one. And again, the same as the hot water tank, cleanliness. Clean your furnace, wipe around it, wipe down, don't stack things on it and whatnot. Cleanliness definitely will prolong the longevity of your furnace.
What are your thoughts on furnace and duct cleaning? So I've heard a couple of different things from different HVAC guys. What are your thoughts on that?
Duct cleaning is important, especially if you have animals. If you have dogs and cats and such, your vents are going to get all sorts of stuff in their hair and dust and extra things. And keeping clean ducts is valuable. It gives you clean air. I really believe that clean air is important, just as important as clean water. So yeah, keep a clean filter and keep clean ducts. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. No, I was just curious about that.
Yeah.
So besides having a clean furnace and getting your furnace and ducts cleaned yearly, I guess, what else would you want to talk about? Say somebody has a tankless hot water system. So they're using like either a Navien or something like that for hot water on demand. What kind of maintenance can they do on that? Because basically it's a boiler.
Yeah. Okay. So a tankless hot water tank, hot water heater, they are fantastic. I think they're going to be the way of the future for sure. Especially with trade tariffs and whatnot. These things come from South Korea, the Navien product anyway, so we don't have to go through the US or China to get them. But anyways, maintenance on this is they have to be flushed. The recommendation is once a year. Depending on your water quality, it could be once every 2 years, it could be twice a year. But
so
most
what
of the
does that
time,
mean, flushed?
So you would either call us and we would come and flush the tank with a product specific to flushing the on-demand tank. And there's a valve set on the bottom of the tank, which you can also use to flush yourself. So basically, it takes the corrosion out of the lines inside your tank to ensure that the sensors are working properly. If you don't flush it, the sensors get plugged off or blocked off, and then they don't operate properly, and then it's shut down. Then we are in a pickle. We're replacing sensors, we're flushing anyways, and the longevity, the tankless won't last. It'll be hard on the heat exchanger and whatnot. So manufacturers suggest once a year. So it's a valuable thing. It'll keep your heat exchangers longer.
How long do those tankless systems last in comparison to a tank?
So this is the unique part about tankless. The hot water tank, if you look it up, anywhere you look, it's going to say 8 to 10 years is the the lifespan of the tank. Well, with a on-demand hot water tank, with the product we sell, which is a Navion, they're offering a 15-year heat exchanger warranty. So that tells me that they're pretty secure in the thinking that they're going to last 15 years. So you'd get an extra 5 years of time out of this. So then you can start to look at cost with that as well and think, okay, well, I got an extra 5 years. And you know what? Even after that 5 years, you can buy a new heat exchanger if you had to. So yeah, and usually there's, just like any other safety margins, there's a percentage. So if they're saying 15, you might even get 20 out of it.
It depends on how you care for it and have regularly scheduled maintenance or do the maintenance yourself. So, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So parting on the video today, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up as far as residential plumbing and heating maintenance?
Yes, sure. I mean, we're always trying to sell things. We want to make money. We want to keep our guys busy. But we want to sell things that benefit your life and your home. So, sometimes somebody will call me and say, I want a water softener. I heard they're fantastic. And I agree. I think water softeners are great. You can save money on dish soap and laundry soap and your appliances and whatnot. But if you're getting a water softener before an RO system, I think you're going the wrong direction. Especially
what's an RO system?
If you're on the
you're doing a shop talk here. What's an RO system?
So an RO system is a reverse osmosis system created for clean drinking water. It's something that you want to check into for yourself. It changes a few things about the water, but I drink RO water continuously. I think it's fantastic. Me and my kids drink it. I've never had a problem with it at all. It tastes better. It's just better water. There's less minerals in it, but I think we get most of our minerals from food and vitamins anyway. It is clean, healthy water, and there's contaminants in water, in city water that I don't want to drink it, so I'm not going to say what they are. You go ahead and do the research on it.
Yeah.
We're recycling our sewage though, so the city recycles its sewage back and then sends it back out in the water system again. The cool thing is they're using a giant RO system, but it's not powerful enough as what could be in your house. So you have an RO system in your house, you get all the particulates out, and you get to drink clean, beautiful, fresh water. And this is not like a fridge filter. Fridge filter water is not an RO system. It will not give you the cleanliness of water that an RO system will, not even close. So yeah, if you want healthy, delicious water, get an RO system before you get a water softener. A water softener is more for comfort. An RO system is for your health and well-being. And I believe myself that a reverse osmosis system can extend your life. So you want to live an extra 5 years, maybe? I don't know. I'm not an expert at this, but I think that healthy water is definitely important, along with healthy air.
All right, there you have it, folks. If you are in need of any of these things, call Ryan at Rhino Plumbing. You can check out the website. There are links down below to the website and phone numbers. You can reach out and call and get an appointment, especially if you are in Morinville, St. Albert, Onoway, Legal, these places in central Alberta, just north of Edmonton. But thanks so much for joining us. Hope you found something useful here. If you did, like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.